And I'm honored to have him. Captain Ron Malloy.
Thanks, Bill. All right. I see a tremendous amount of familiar faces here. I'm going to start off with welcome our family, friends, teammates, swimmers, our sponsors. It's just really a great day. Great day for the swim. Great day for the Navy SEAL Foundation. Bravo Zulu to all those that had a helping hand in putting together this year's event. I'd like to have a special shout out for Mr. Bill Brown, our race director. Let's give him a round of applause. I'd also like to add a very, very special welcome to our distinguished guests. We have some 9/11 survivors. We have a whole slew of first responders. And wow, we have 31 Gold Star families with us today. Let's let it out. It's both an honor and a privilege for me to be here today. To be a small part of this swim means a great deal to me. As we stand on this hallowed ground right next door to the 9/11 memorial, the twin pools that sit in the footprints of the Twin Towers, let us remember the bravery and the sacrifices of the innocent men, women, children, and our heroic first responders that came through that hellish day in such a bad way. And the cowardly attacks, those cowardly attacks that still remind us today, we will never forget them. You know, but let's try and draw some inspiration for their unwavering determination and their courage. Since the inception of our nation, there's been a common thread that goes all the way back to the men and the militia of Lexington and Concord. That's right, and it takes us right up through our first responders of 9/11 and right on into today's Navy SEALs, and I'm going to prove that to you right here today. The men of Lexington and Concord were American patriots who took a stand against the British during the American Revolution. Their willingness to sacrifice for their fledgling country was a pivotal point in American history. From our 9/11 first responders who displayed remarkable bravery. They risked it all. They went all in, and many of them lost their lives while trying to save others in the face of unprecedented danger. And today's Navy SEALs and special ops like the ones that were on Extortion 17, well, they continue to undergo the most rigorous and extensive training that there is on the planet to prepare themselves for the most rigorous and complex missions that are out there. Their preparedness is a hallmark to their effectiveness, and they are known for acting selflessly, way outside their comfort zone, with ferocious determination and raw courage in the face of near or certain death. I think it's important to note that the men that boarded Extortion 17 on the eve of 6 August in response to a battlefield emergency is no less inspirational than our heroic first responders that rushed towards and into burning towers, which is also no less inspirational than the men of Lexington and Concord taking a stand against the British. What is more inspirational is the family and the friends that were left behind from those events, from those battles, from the wars, from the tragic disaster of 9/11, cowardly attacks. That is indicative of the strength, the resolve, and deep compassion of this great nation since our birth. I think it was Captain Isaac Davis who came through and when questioned about the British superior forces and his ability to confront them. And he said, "I have not a man that is afraid right now." And when it comes down to studying those who serve and studying bravery, it is my opinion it really comes down to just a few things. And that is our willingness to serve for our country. It's we believe that we're serving for a higher cause. It is our love of nation. It becomes our way of life. And it is our love for those that we serve side by side, day in and day out, our teammates. We defend, we protect, we avenge, we bleed, we sacrifice, and we're even willing to die for this unique creation that they call the United States of America. I am complete for having experienced that level of sacrifice with my fellow teammates and those that have died. They died for me, they died for you, and they died for countless citizens that will never even know their name. They will never get to see the birth and growth of their children. They will never get to experience the cycle of life. And so much more. All because they chose to stand in our place and finish the enemy for us. Why? Because they believed they were fighting for a cause that was greater than themselves. Because they wanted to protect our God-given rights. And they wanted to make sure that our families slept peacefully in our beds at night. That's why. The men that boarded Extortion 17 on the eve of 6 August in response to a battlefield emergency came from every walk of life, every corner of the nation. They were all volunteers. They were all children of 9/11. They all represented what was good about our country. They all executed the lawful intent of our government, and they all continued the warrior legacy of the United States without regard for adulation or unanimous approval. And if you knew them like I did, you would know that they lived by an ethos that only very few people could even comprehend. That they accepted the inherent risks of their profession. And they died doing what they love, which is operating, which is their family and friends, which is their teammates and their nation in support and defense of the Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, the Navy SEALs and Special Ops of today are not to be considered or mistaken for some reality TV show. And I can assure you that they are not a bunch of choir boys. I can certainly attest to that. Right now, as we speak, they are being honed into a machine, into a force, into a team of teams that is agile, adaptable, professional, disciplined, extremely lethal, and built to withstand anything our adversaries can throw at us. We will not back down. We will not be intimidated. Most of us have been to war now. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States, if you want war with our allies, if you want war with our citizens, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Just like all our other adversaries, you will rue the day that you messed with the greatest military force and special operations on the planet. The men of Lexington and Concord inspired future generations to fight for freedom and justice. The first responders of 9/11 inspired a nation, a surge of patriotism and a sense of unity across the nation. And the Navy SEALs and Special Ops continue to inspire with their dedication, their skill, and their unwavering commitment to our country. So as we get ready to remember, so in summary, let me back up there. In summary, all three groups are connected by their shared bravery, their legacy of service, their rigorous training, and the inspiration that they provided. They are all connected. They all exemplify the highest standards of service and sacrifice. And they all played a pivotal role in safeguarding our nation. So as we get ready to move forward and remember the 13th anniversary of Extortion 17, and we get ready to remember and honor all those that perished on that fateful day almost 23 years ago. Let us also remember what we have and recommit ourselves to the values and ideals that make us Americans. Why? I'm going to tell you right now. Because that's what great nations, great cultures, and great people do in their finest hour. Let it out. So as we move forward on our journey, let the spirit of New York continue to serve as a beacon of hope and inspiration, guiding us towards a future with freedom, with justice, with promises and possibilities. May the light perpetually shine upon our fallen. May God continue to comfort our 9/11 families and our Gold Star families. And may God protect our first responders and our troops today and every day. And may all the rest of us live our lives worthy of their sacrifices. God bless you all. God bless the United States of America. May we always have the privilege to serve her. Thank you. Malloy, out.